All right. Welcome everyone to session 21 of The Space Between. My How Time Flies. Wherein we have been, holed up in the woods, recovering from the aftermath of the previous encounter. And we have a recap from Bo's perspective.
We sure do.
Oh my, that sounded intimidating.
So, session 20 recap by Bo. Well, the day finally came where everyone has to recognize they need me around. Some folks tried to ambush us on one of that mountain highways. 2 cars blocking up ahead and 2 following up behind. I'd cottoned on to 'em trailing us and set up to take one of 'em out. Some of the crew tried to think of some tricks or pretty words to avoid fighting, but even our greenhorns could see we weren't love, peace, and bacon greasing our way out of this one. Took out one driver at the jump, then popped a couple of the other vehicles. Even got to try out some of my new arrows. Cherry took the wheel from Miss Muscles and pulled off some pretty fancy driving. Have to have her take the wheel more often. Pete took out several goons from the blockade and kept them from tailing us as Cherry floored it in reverse. Zeke used finger guns to blast some of them too. Actual frickin' finger guns. He really is smooth operator. All that fancy shooting and driving let us get some distance between us and the pursuing goons. Eva steered us off on a back road to lose him. Now we should be able to off-road back to Arsino and get out of Dodge. Still, wish we could have figured out more about who attacked us. Dollars to donuts, it's that buyer Sarah Lloyd turned down. Poor spurned fella didn't know how to take no for an answer. Of course, we got enough crew members of skeletons that might try to crawl out of their closet and shank 'em. Goodness knows I got plenty of my own it could be. I want answers so I know who to start fitting for toe tags. Got out of this one all right, but most everyone's pretty scuffed up. Should have done more to keep them from getting hurt. Most of the crew still ain't got the stomach for the wet work this job calls for. Ought to spare 'em that if I can. Don't want 'em turning out like... Well, don't want them greenhorns dying on me. Then I'd be back to solo work. Anyway, we just gotta get Mr. Roboto where he's going. They should stop bothering us.
Makes sense.
Aw.
Bo willing to express a lot more care in his little journal than he will face to face with anyone.
Well,
Which
yeah.
Checks out.
What journals are
does make
for?
sense. It's pretty neat to see that Bo recognized the power of venting and writing. All right, so yeah, we had left off. I think we'd handled a few minutes worth of some healing for the whatchamacallits, for Pete, and bit of discussion about the plans, but we are ready now to execute on the plans.
Which
So,
were for Avery's benefit.
Mm.
Basically, make a trail out.
Yeah, I guess
Doesn't get too much more complex than that, except that we wanted to spend an effort from you to sense a need for a nav comp.
For
yeah,
what?
Nav comp, it's basically a terrain mapper. Ben can explain more of what it does.
yeah, it's basically like a little GPS and mapping device. Because I was gonna say it might be good to...
He definitely brought
A good man. I was gonna say it might be worth just going back and double checking, given that recap, and I didn't know if you had the chance to listen to the session. Did you have any questions about what went on, or is it pretty clear to you at the moment?
that. Clear enough.
Okay.
I'm good. We can continue forward.
But yeah, he definitely thought to bring that thing.
Yeah. Well, good deal. So if you will then mark another effort for the day on your character sheet.
Yes, I need to make sure that he has effort.
Oh wait, or Dex, did you? No, you didn't.
No.
Didn't spend the effort last time.
Didn't
Looks like you
actually
did
spend
already
anything.
deduct. He did have 1,000 credits though, didn't he? So you deducted the 500 credits. Yeah, 'cause he's
Yeah,
also
I put a
done-
note on the sheet.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
I don't think I actually deducted the credits. I think I just put the note on the sheet that we wanted to do that.
Hmm. I will say I have a pretty distinct memory of him having 1,000 credits, unless I was looking at the wrong character sheet.
Oh, does he only have 500 now?
Yeah, he's got 500
Okay,
now.
then maybe I did. Well, what does my note on the sheet say?
Oh,
On the bottom right.
Oh, feel free to have Zeke ask you for reimbursement. Yeah,
Okay, yes, I
you
did
since
take it
need
off
to
then.
buy it for 500. Yeah.
Just to confirm, was he at 2 effort for the day already?
He should be. Yeah, he should be at 3 effort for the day now. That after using Spinning, because he'd saved 2 in the event of needing to teleport himself and everyone else out of the situation.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, which just to briefly clarify the exact nature of the situation, you guys got ambushed on the way back to the city from your AI interrogation sesh. Managed to fight them off and get away, retreating away from the city, back the way you'd come, and getting off the road. So now the plan is to use the nav comp to try to chart a path back to the city, staying off the roads and using the ATV.
Are
To
we
the
more than
fullest.
10 kilometers away from the city?
You are actually.
Oh,
I don't believe we discussed the exact linear distance yet. There was, but yeah, I do know. I can check my notes. I had done the math, but bottom line is, you would need 2 teleports to get back to the city at your max 10-kilometer distance.
And besides, one of the reasons that we didn't just teleport out when they started shooting is I think we wanted to try and get the ATV returned and make sure that, even with the bullet holes and the scratched paint, that Sarah can come back here. At least that was my thinking.
I think we had talked about returning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah. So speaking of which, you guys are the current scene. You guys are in the forest, a good distance away from the highway, hanging out in the ATV, and Eva has been putting the finishing touches on some repair work to Pete.
Real quick, how many spare parts do I need to spend for that? How many hit
Would've
points were you
been
down?
2. Yeah, it was more than. I do remember it was more than one
Right.
unit would get.
I wanted him to take 3 more damage.
Yes, and I delivered. Yeah, I was joking, but
Uh-huh. Alright, so
yeah,
go ahead and spend 2 spare parts then.
yeah. And yeah,
Or actually, Robert, do you mind being 2 hit points down?
I don't mind.
Yeah,
You can use the other one to repair the APC.
yeah, I'm thinking because spending both of them would put me down to 3 spare parts remaining, and we don't know what we'll need them for.
Yep.
Does the ATV need any repairs, Ben?
Would you like to take a look?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and give me a fixed check from Eva
All right.
with either wisdom or intelligence.
We'll go ahead and go with intelligence.
Keep the plan. All right. Yes, actually. So the structural integrity of the ATV is considerably compromised. You definitely don't want to try relying on its, you know, like pressurized interior environment. If you were to go, if you were to venture into a thicker atmosphere, and you do find a few bullet holes in important parts of the vehicle, one of which being the radiator. Fortunately, you've caught it quickly enough that you think you're able to do a stopgap to keep from losing all the coolant.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks like it will. You'll be able to should be able to fix, just at least patch the busted up parts with 1 unit of spare parts and maybe a couple hours of work.
All right. I don't think Eva takes any time to rest or process. She goes straight from fixing up Pete to looking over the ATV and then gets to work on that.
Alrighty.
She
So
is
she
coping.
She's coping hard. So yeah, she's got the hood of the ATV up, and she's got her toolkit out. She's got her backpack out, a bunch of random parts spilling out of it, and
And her mouth is running. She is openly
Yeah.
talking about what parts have been damaged, what they can do. Oh, and this part was aftermarket. It was a bad quality.
Yeah, and probably somewhere in her rambling is included how good it is that she thought to check the vehicle before you guys headed off on your way back to the city, because you might have done some more serious damage to it driving it too long in that condition.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Included
join
with that
happy to
is
help.
you guys are lucky I'm here.
Nice.
All right. What is everybody else up to in the kind of the immediate aftermath? There's been a few minutes since you've gotten off the road and had a little bit of time to cool down, and as Eva begins getting out the toolkit and doing some major repairs.
I think Pete would look for some sort of overlook position where he could be like advanced warning. Set up in a little sniper nest or something.
Okay. um, Sounds good. What did Bo think about that?
Oh yeah, he's good. He was going to volunteer to help Eva, but mostly to see how she's doing after.
Yeah, she'll take the help. It it may be difficult to try and figure out how she's doing because she doesn't really respond to much other than what she's doing.
Yeah, so he'll recognize that it's her way of coping and let her just help her for a while. And then it's like mid work, say, so how you holding up with all this?
She slows down, whatever it is she's doing, probably wrenching a lug nut or something. Well, that's the first time I've ever shot at someone, and I think I might have killed the guy. I don't know. She definitely did not kill the guy. Just want to remind that her
Mhm.
contributions to the combat were abysmal.
Let's see. Oh, I guess, well, Bo had no way of seeing any of that, so. Hey. Well, I think you're holding up better than I did the first time I ever killed somebody. I puked my guts out after the fight.
I want to. Don't talk about it, please.
Just keep thinking happy thoughts.
Lug nuts, wrenches, spanners.
I've expected Bo to encourage her, say, "Yeah, get it out and get it over with."
Try chewing on something mini. Found that helps.
Oh,
Good idea.
Minty, yeah. But all you have is beef jerky, isn't it?
I'll say, caveman eat other things too.
Yeah,
And produce a stick of gum.
she takes it, unwraps it, and pops it in her mouth, along with definitely some grease got onto that gum as she was pushing it in.
Gross.
I'll say. I don't know if it's exactly a good thing, but it gets easier after you do this line of work enough.
I guess you try to find like a line where you know it's wrong, but you know you have to, and so it bothers you, but you don't throw up. That's what I want right now. Is I just don't want to throw up.
Well, for me, it got easier when I finally lost count. But
Oh, Bo, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had such
it wasn't
deep
too
feelings.
bad. Never was much for counting anyway.
About that time, Sarah Lloyd comes down out of the cab, sees Bo standing there, and claps him hard on the shoulder. "Oh, Bo, that was some good shooting back there. I don't know how many of those suckers you popped, but man, good work. I think I only might have gotten one at most myself." She gestures to a bandage around her, one of her shoulders. "They didn't get me too bad. Looks like you got out without a scratch."
Yeah, I made it out pretty good. You got yourself a nice little scar for the bar. Show off to all the folks next time.
Yeah, I think it. I think it might have. I'd put a little, taken a little piece out of one of my tattoos, but I don't think it's too bad.
I guess a character.
She grins and looks over at Eva. "Hey, how's it going under there, Captain?"
Well, give me another 27 minutes, and it won't be good as new, but it won't get worse. Actually,
I
it'll
got a
be a little
sinking
bit better
feeling
than
you
it
ain't getting the
came.
deposit back.
No, sorry, what did Bo say?
I said, I got a sinking feeling you ain't getting the deposit back.
Well, that's not fair. It's gonna be better than you got it. There were some really bad parts in here.
I might have some thing or two to say about those aftermarket bullet hole editions we gave it.
Yeah. I don't have the. I don't have enough spare materials to patch all that up.
Maybe if we chew enough sticks of gum between here and the rental place,
Why
we
does
can
your
patch up the hole.
Why does your gum taste like grease?
Oh, that might be because of the grease.
You have grease on your gum?
You have grease on your everything, and that was kind of avoidable. Or unavoidable. It's getting on that gum too.
Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You have grease on your everything. Kind of unavoidable. So matter of fact, I love it.
Bo and Zeke and Pete and Cherry and you too, Miss Lloyd, really saved us back there.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Shooting folks and my witty color commentary.
Did we establish where Cherry is right now?
No, you can decide.
Okay. She has not left the driver's seat.
Mhm.
She has kicked back the seat. She has her sunnies on. And she's chewing gum and she's on her compad.
Oh, okay, so not holding the wheel.
Nope.
I was
But
picturing
she-
she's having a rough time.
She was also not getting out of the vehicle
Mm.
until forced to, probably. And then she is coping in her own way, I guess. But more than that, she does not want to give the wheel back over to anyone else.
Bo will reach up and tap the glass. Yo, how you doing up there, Speed Racer?
She'll look over with her giant sunglasses, blow a bubble and pop it. And then she'll pull some earbuds out of her ears, and you see her mouth, "What?" in a really dramatic way.
Well, I guess ain't nothing bothering her that she can't say for a therapist.
And then you hear really muted through the glass, "I can't hear you."
Thanks, Bo, for the talk about how many people you've killed and the gum.
Oh, you know me, always with a rousing pep talk.
Uh-huh.
A man of many
Definitely
talents.
how anyone would classify Bo.
Sarah is certainly considering him with more respect than she had in the past.
Well, what's Zeke been up to? Is he still blasting stuff with those finger guns?
That's not a bad idea. Might be practicing with it now that he's figured out that's a thing he can do.
Yeah, I don't know. Sarah says he was doing something in the back of the RV.
Can he like TK cans on the ground to shoot at?
Mm-hmm.
Do they make a sound if he hits them?
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly going to make the sound of, basically blunt force impact to them.
Yeah, you just hear that as he just wails on a can.
Well, I figured he's gonna be all right. That fella's been a smooth operator since day one.
Go ahead and give me a telekinetic skill check,
Uh-oh.
Avery.
Oh, this might backfire. Actually, how do I do that? Is it just
You
Oh.
click on telekinesis just like your other skills, and then pick I think wisdom is your skill that's the appropriate one.
Ow.
Very nice. Yeah, he's doing some target practice on Kane. Doing a pretty good job.
Okay, so you hear multiple ka-chows as he hits the cans. Not just one.
Seems like all that target practice is finally paying off.
Is this Bo talking to Zeke?
Yeah, I guess he'd go over there.
Yeah, I never thought to do this before. Don't know why. It's pretty cool.
What do you think the odds are of PD letting us do this in the ship?
We can always ask for forgiveness.
I like your style.
It's a lot easier than darts.
I'll have to take your word for it. I hadn't figured out how to do finger guns yet.
It's easy. You just finger guns.
Bo will give it his best shot.
Can he give Bo a finger gun? Is that a thing?
No, though he could certainly time his his technique. He could even without using the telekinetic armor, he could also just use. Oh well,
Bo
no,
is
because
gonna try- or Zeke is going to try his best to make Bo think that his finger gun worked at least once.
yeah, I was gonna say I think he could definitely do that. He can he can basically put his hand to his side so
Yeah.
Bo doesn't see him do it, and then after a few of Bo's tries, he can fire one off at one of the cans.
Yep, I'm going to try and deceive Bo into thinking his finger gun worked at least once.
Oh man.
What must I roll for this?
Oh, I'd say it's probably a perform check.
Not a TK?
No, I'd say I think he's probably got the telekinesis part down, but maybe the
Gotta.
disguising his action and playing it up like, wow, good job, Bo. Like I had no idea how you did that.
Is Dex for that? Or wisdom?
Perform with, I'd say, probably charisma or maybe even wisdom.
Can we go wisdom?
Sure. Yeah, nine's pretty good. Ethan, it's up to you how you think Bo takes this.
Mhm. Yeah, so he'll have stood there trying for a couple of times to no effect. And then when he sees a can fly over, he'll say, "Man, did you see that?
Heck
Now I
yeah.
got some of them smooth operating powers now, it looks like. Watch out, Whirl."
Told you it's easy. You just keep practicing like that, you'll have it in no time.
Well, I'll have to give this more a try. I'm going to be filling up old Petey's swear jar real quick if we start doing this on the ship.
Yeah. Mm. Oh man.
And there are no consequences for that.
Uh-huh.
And just like that, everyone moved on and had a grand old time. Never thought about it again.
Not until the next fight when Bo's like, forget guns. I have finger guns now.
Um,
It's all to best him in a game of darts later.
Long con.
yes. All right. So, anything else that anybody wants to get up to in the? We've got a couple hours while Eva's fixing up the ATV, get it roadworthy again, or off-road worthy.
Yes, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Cherry would like to go check on TC3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, make sure you hadn't gone all Skynet on us.
Well, he can't invent his own repair parts.
It's true.
But he could be taking apart the van while Eva's putting it back together.
I feel like last time we saw him, he had kind of like braced himself like
Mhm.
as best he could in the van.
Yeah.
So
Which, incidentally, would probably be a good measure of due diligence just to ask. I think Eva was the one in charge of, primarily in charge of taking off the physical parts that Carrie had that would let her interface with stuff, right?
Yes.
Where would she have put those parts?
In her back pocket.
I think they'd be in her toolkit.
Okay.
Which
the
she,
one
of
she
course, has.
currently has access to
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that she has got in her possession outside in front of the ATV in full view of whoever would happen to walk up.
Yes, and that's not just to stymie Ben's evil domination plans. It is just logical where she
I
would
mean,
put
that's.
them.
I was gonna say that I should hope that Eva is working to stymie my evil domination plans. I mean, TC3's evil domination plans.
Eva
It's kind of
does not know who Ben is.
exactly. I was gonna say that it's kind of the point of her having taken the parts off in the first place. But yeah, I did just want to establish explicitly where she was keeping those, and until otherwise mentioned. All right. Yeah, and she's kept a close eye on that, and is confident that so far it's not been out of her sight. Yeah. So Cherry would find TC3 sitting in the RV, not necessarily doing anything. Apparently, just sitting in one of the seats near where it had been braced during the fight earlier.
All right, so she would walk up and if he didn't look at her immediately, she'd just kind of clap her hands together a little bit and go, wow. I mean, not every day that happens, right? Like that was really something. How are you?
Yeah.
Are you like, are we good? Or like, how are we feeling? That was probably kind of like a lot.
Thank you for asking after my well-being, Cherry. I'm doing well. I don't believe I sustained any damage.
Okay, great. Awesome. Good. You know, like that's good for you for like finding that zen and like taking that all in stride. Like that is goals.
Were you damaged, Cherry? You seem distressed.
Oh, like I mean like I could really go for like my favorite drink right now or like some shopping or something, but like um I can't. So
Hmm.
I am
Where does it
attempting.
actually?
It is a tragedy. You're so right. No one in this crew really appreciates what a tragedy that is, except you. So I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to like practice some of the skills I learned um in my acting classes really, which is basically fake it till you make it. So yeah, so I'm doing that right now.
Hmm.
And then she smiles.
Yeah, he returns a kind of a digital smile. Says, yes, deception is quite useful in masking one's more difficult emotions.
Well,
A useful
yeah, I
lesson.
think I think deception is maybe a rough word. It's more instead of fake it till you make it. It's not exactly about deceiving. It's more about like um perhaps not divulging your distress.
Hmm,
Some people say keep calm and carry on, but like in show business, we don't like to talk about being calm. So,
I see.
your friend, oh, I'm so sorry. I am a little scatterbrained right now. I'm trying to remember her name. On Lohane Uda. Oh, what was her name? Out of character, Ben. I
Yes.
can't remember.
Oh. Yeah, that's all right. I believe that would have been Susan Stardust.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could say Susan. Susan Stardust.
Yes, Susan Stardust. Okay. One of my biggest like memories of her, like my best memory of her is when people were really scared about something that had happened in the news and she told us all about how important it was to smile until and just like get through it until things were better. And, that's really helpful. So I'm just going to chew my gum and check on other people. And I can have cherry time later and it'll be fine. But
Manifest the emotion that you would like to have, or something like that. I think she used to say.
yeah, something like that. Um, yeah. So
Hmm.
anyway, so
Hmm.
I'm practicing that. And I am focusing on the positive, which was getting to drive this RV the way I wanted to, which was fantastic. I just had to get, Miss Miss Lloyd out of the way first. She
Mm.
wasn't as quick as she needed to be, but I'm sure she could work on that. This isn't like an everyday situation. So,
Uh, You
and
performed
she would
admirably.
thank you. I really appreciate that. And then she's going to continue um talking about how much she loves driving and piloting, and then after a while would kind of snap out of it realizing that she's addressing an AI. Um and
Mhm.
and kind of like you can see almost like a switch come over her of like, oh, whoops, like this is not your BFF. This is someone to be respected. Um and so she'd kind of just snap shut and then go, I am gonna go. Um you probably don't want to hear me like, "Ah." So I'm gonna go. Glad you're okay. Cool. Like if you need anything, just like let me know or even know or like, yeah, just let anyone know. Okay, bye. And she'll walk away.
Goodbye, Cherry.
She'll awkwardly like kind of turn and wave and then walk away back to the driver's seat.
All right. Yeah, he just seems content to sit there and take it all in. Well, yeah, we can go ahead and fast forward to the ATV being fixed up and ready for the journey. Um, there was another point on the plan that was listed before the trek about asking Miss Lloyd about her prospective buyer. Did you guys want to do that now, or wait till you're on the trip, or what?
I think that was a both thing, so.
Okay.
I could probably use the help of someone with charisma.
All right. Well, Bo, better set to searching out someone. Unless, what did you imagine that as an in-character Bo idea, or was that an out-of-character Ethan idea that you think some other party member would have been more likely to have?
Yeah, I guess I'd mention that as an out of character. But I guess Bo, as expressed in the recap, would also be interested in finding out.
Okay, yeah. Well, do you think Bo would go in search of someone to help him try to talk to Miss Lloyd, considering his previous experiences trying to talk to Miss Lloyd by himself?
Yeah, I guess if it was still a few more hours of repairs, he'd go back to help Eva. And I guess mention that to her at some point, saying, I should probably try figuring out who it was who was trying to shoot at us. I mean, I'm guessing it's that other buyer that old Sarah Lloyd had talked about. The more we know about that person, the better we should be able to deal with them.
Yeah, I always want all the information.
So maybe we get her to sit down for a little sharing circle at some point here.
I mean, can't we just ask her? We're kind of all in this together now, so why wouldn't she tell us everything that could save her life too?
Well, I'm guessing she would. She might be cagey. I don't know if this guy's got any relation to the whole mysterious benefactor that we spotted her talking with before we came out here.
Well, okay. Yeah, we should talk to her, or maybe you and Pete could talk to her. Oh no, that sounds way too threatening. We'll talk to her. Like, all of us.
Oh, that'd be good. Might try roping in old Cherry, too. He seemed like she's a regular Sarah Lloyd whisperer.
I think she's an everyone whisperer, Bo.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an exception.
I don't think so.
I haven't been whispered to a single time in my life.
Didn't you go get her boba tea?
Oh, out of character today.
I think Bo did.
So, well, that's a little tit for tat situation.
And then you went on the stakeout.
Well, it was for the job.
Uh-huh.
Oh, think about it for a little bit and say, oh no.
Uh-huh.
I've been whipped.
I think that's just Cherry's special power, Bo. It's okay.
Well, we definitely want her in on this one then.
And she's so cool too, like she seems like she doesn't even care sometimes. And like everything is just beyond her. And then when she does I'm gonna get back to the engine. Actually, I'm done with the engine.
Well, don't put her up on too high a pedestal. She puts her fancy pants on one leg at a time, just like you and me.
But
Guys,
hers
you
are
got your own
clean.
things that you can show off. Being able to patch an ATV back together with just a few packs of spare parts.
Well, yeah, I know I'm great. That's. Hmm. Let's go talk to Sarah. Where's Pete? Eva will call for Pete on his shoulder-mounted radio.
Yeah.
We're almost ready to go, and we want to have a meeting. It's not really a meeting because we don't have our planning board.
Okay. Pete will take one last look real quick before he gets down, and then join up with this meeting.
Eva will put up a panel that she had to take off to replace something that she hasn't put back on yet, and she'll use that as her planning board. She's got it propped up on a couple of, like, a tripod of scrap pieces, and also propped against the ATV. She's got her classic dry erase pens on her. Is everybody present?
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Okay. So that just happened, and we should probably all share notes on everything that we know, so that we can try to avoid who those people are and anybody else they might be connected with once we do get back to the city. I can't patch up the ATV completely, so anybody that's looking for it is gonna be able to find it as soon as we get there. We'll avoid the roads for most of the part, but when we finally get to the city, we're going to be seen. And we can try and reduce that by knowing where to avoid. So, she uncaps her dry erase pen. What do we know about our attackers? We don't actually have to go through that one by one, but Eva will start taking notes on this ATV panel.
Might not be the worst idea.
Is the bear Eva right now?
I think the bear is TC3 in that context.
Oh, okay.
We may never know.
Oh, I'm hearing a door and a child. I'll be right back. You guys discuss what you do know about the bandits. I will provide Sarah Lloyd's part when I get back.
Okay.
What we know, I think that encompasses.
I know.
They were driving vehicles. They had set up an ambush, and they chased us.
Could we oracle a question about them?
Yeah, that's not a bad
Maybe.
idea. How far out does your horizon go?
It's not short. Let me look.
I guess it'd have to be something you could reasonably see in the future from your POV.
Yeah, it's 1 week into the future. So
Based on an action you're taking, yeah.
we could ask, like, in this scenario, and then maybe learn something about what may come of that scenario that would tell us more.
Why don't we hold that until we've got a little bit more information about them, then formulate a city entry plan, and then oracle that.
Yeah, because I'm assuming we're going to take a rest before we go to the city, or is that?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ben said that it was going to be a multiple day journey, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, so he's got one effort left to burn for the day or
Okay.
something of that effect.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. Let's solidify what information we can get, make a little bit of an entry plan, and then figure out, is this a bad idea?
Is it viable?
Yeah. And I guess Bo would share his thoughts, saying, well, they came up with a decent plan of that kill box, but those guys themselves didn't exactly seem like the deadliest operators. So I don't think it was quite their idea.
Okay.
Having that many people and vehicles involved, it couldn't be cheap.
I was going to ask, how many do we think there were?
There were like at least
I think
a
there were
dozen.
3 vehicles and about 12 soldiers, is my
Yeah.
guess.
Like 4, yeah. And then I guess if you're saying, sound like they were sedan kind of cars.
How many do we think we took care of? Or are we saying there's 12 left?
No, total is what I'm thinking.
Sounds about right to me. How many are left? Like,
I think we ended up killing 4
Maybe
drivers.
6 of them?
And yeah, I think 2 took, or I was going to say about 2 took over. So I think maybe 6.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess about a half to a third of these guys.
Hmm.
I don't know. It seemed like I think a couple of them looked like they were just leaving.
Did we
after.
get a read on if any of them are psychics or?
I
No.
guess they didn't attack us with anything psychic. And
And
didn't respond to any of Avery or Zeke's psychic shenanigans with
Yeah.
psychic response.
yeah, and Ben didn't tell us that Zeke detected any psychics. So I'm remembering that, right? He is Medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's kind of his primary thing, isn't it? So he's Medicine too?
No, he's Metascion 1.
Okay, so he wouldn't detect psychics on sight, but he would still see or hear their powers.
Yeah, that is my understanding.
Yeah, we definitely didn't receive any psychic attacks that we could detect.
Yeah.
Did they
And
have
they
any?
didn't block the finger guns.
Did they have any
So-
sort of like flags or any unique characteristics about them that could tell us maybe where they came from?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Ben's initial description was kind of generic mooks, but that might be something we could try to roll to recollect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just got back and heard some kind of question about the generic mooks and a roll to recollect.
Just want to make sure. Danielle, were you trying to say anything? Because you look like you're muted in Discord.
No, I was not. I was just listening.
Okay. Yeah, so Ben, we've got a kind of a pseudo plan here. We want to get a little bit of information from Sarah, pool what we have, see if we can identify any distinguishing features of the mooks that would be able to help put together who they are, where they came from.
Okay.
And we're gonna try and use this to create a city entry plan, and then have Zeke Oracle to tell us if it's a terrible idea or not.
Hmm. Okay, cool. Okay. So, you guys want to ask? Well, let's see. So, as far as recalling details about the assailants on the road,
Could
that is
I?
going to be a. Hmm?
I was gonna ask, could I perhaps have Eva roll a note to see if she can recall various little details?
I think in this case it would be more of a notice check. So more about having actually seen the details and processed them in the hectic, well, combat scenario than just knowing the thing. Um,
I guess I would leave a no out there as an option for if there was anything that was like visibly
mm,
obvious but not intellectually obvious. I'll ask for a no check for
right.
anything that might be like that.
Yeah, you could certainly do check like that.
Okay. Can we do that right now?
And yeah, if you want to. And I'm guessing somebody else will be making a notice check to try to see if they noticed particular details about them. If not, that's fine. Um, okay, 16. Let's see. All right, so I'll say so the notice check for Bo, uh, that's a it's good enough that notices him. It has him having noticed the fact that the assailants were not wearing any sort of uniforms. Uh, their armor was mismatched.
Hmm.
Their weapons, though they had a bit of variety in the weapons, they were uh, relatively uniform in their design. Um, and honestly in decent condition, just from the glances that he got at them. However, the vehicles were neither neither well matched or well maintained, particularly. Now, I think uh, Eva piecing that information together with her with information that she's heard, observed, picked up over the brief course of your stay on Urala. Um, I think she would be able to identify the weapons as uh, scavenged from the defeated Tabukan forces,
Right, I was thinking that.
as well as uh, the the description that Bo gives of a couple armor pieces, um, it's not a far stretch at all to guess that the armor is a mix of scavenged from both Uralin and Tabukan forces, as well as just generic security armor that could be sourced elsewhere under normal circumstances.
Okay. So, opportunistic equipment, um, low quality
Bandit equipment,
vehicles.
honestly.
It really is kind of bandit equipment, yeah. Um, what about their tactics? Could Pete or Bo use any of their mercenary knowledge to kind of like get an idea of oh, were these highwaymen or were they mob thugs?
Hmm.
And I'll justify that
Gotcha.
question with mob thugs, that operate mainly in the city, probably wouldn't be as good at staging a roadblock along a mountain pass, whereas highwaymen
Mhm.
have presumably have some experience at that.
Yeah, and it would play to our characters' backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd allow either one of them to, yeah, probably roll with their relevant combat skill to assess the tactics of the situation.
Dab with wisdom?
There you go.
Sure.
Stab your way to knowledge, Pete.
Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
Hmm.
Stab them hard.
A 2 and a
super-
1.
Yeah. Pete's not so sure. Highway robbery is not exactly his realm of expertise. Though I would say that it is generally obvious to everyone involved that the tactics they exercised in the scenario were uh, certainly displayed the fact that they had a good idea what they were doing.
Mm.
See, would Bo assisting him be able to push it up into a success? Or
No, not in this case. So I'd say it's it escapes you guys at the moment as far as just trying to analyze based on their tactics where exactly their base of operations might be, or where they tend to where their stomping grounds tend to be. But this was not the first time these guys have done a similar exercise. I'll give you that much.
All right. What does Jennifer Moons? No, Jennifer Moons. Wow. What does Sir Lloyd have to contribute?
Wow.
Jennifer Moons has a whole novel on this very situation.
I mean, Eva did roll a 6.
I was gonna say, does Eva need to take a step back from the job?
All right. Yeah, I'd say that Sarah would agree with Eva's assessment that these are opportunists and likely some sort of bandits. She would say that she didn't recognize the troop as belonging to any faction that she's aware of. Though they're obviously their free use of violence and bearing arms would indicate that they're certainly not aligned with the legitimate government of Arsena.
Right. Okay. Does she volunteer anything else about the person that tried to buy TC3 from her, or can Cherry work that out of her?
Yeah, she doesn't. She's not volunteering that. She doesn't seem to think she has anything else to contribute to the conversation. But yeah, if somebody wants to try to ask her or work on her and try to convince her, that would be fine.
You want to shine with Cherry there, Danielle? Even if they are two separate groups, it still would be good to know, like more about the people that tried to buy from her, just in case they separately and coincidentally are preparing another ambush for us.
What?
Coincidentally, you don't have to twist Cherry's arm to talk. So there we go.
Fair.
So
All right, so Cherry would go to speak to Miss Lloyd. Where would she find Sarah?
Oh, we're
so
all in a
this
meeting
is in
right
the
now.
context of a group
Oh.
meeting.
Okay, and we included Sarah Lloyd in this, right?
Mhm.
This is
Okay,
all going on
my
the
bad.
planning board.
Yeah, TC3
I don't know.
is there too, just so we're clear.
I don't know where I lost that context along the way, but I did, so apologies.
That's okay.
But
So yeah, this discussion about what people had observed about the attackers was all in the context of this meeting. Sarah Lloyd pitched in a little bit, but has not volunteered anything about her prospective buyer that she had mentioned before.
Gotcha. All right. All right, so she's just gonna kind of come out of the gate with it then at that point.
Okay.
And she is going to say, Miss Lloyd, if you don't mind me asking, who exactly were you looking to sell to?
She gets kind of an uncomfortable look on her face and says, "Well, honestly, that's a really good question. The one person that I did meet with who had expressed some interest in purchasing valuable pre-tech artifacts from me, well, they were incredibly secretive. Yeah, I never really even got a good look at them. They were pretty heavily guarded, had me pretty uneasy. But asked a lot of questions, didn't really give a lot of information.
And did they meet with you over video chat or in a face-to-face? Well, not face-to-face, but like, in-person meeting? Or...
Yeah, it was supposed to be in person and sort of was. That yeah, they ended up sort of met in a confessional.
I'm sorry, like in a church?
Yes. I actually didn't realize that Phythoxians did that, but it is, I suppose, a practice they have, and that's, yeah, I was not surprised to be meeting them at a church, but then the secrecy was, I suppose, understandable under the circumstances. Someone with that kind of money wouldn't want to be exposing themselves for no reason, but yeah, didn't
Right.
didn't
Oh,
leave me particularly settled.
yeah, I could understand that. Yeah.
I even used
So,
some kind of voice modulator. Well, unless it was perhaps a VI.
the person was a VI, or you think that the
Well,
modulator they were using was a VI they had hired? What do you mean by unless it was a VI?
she throws up her hands.
I know who it is.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't really know. They didn't exactly let me get a peek in there.
Right.
So summon them by name, Ethan.
Yeah, what is that? Some kind of demonic ritual?
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Sorry, did anyone else do that in middle school? No, just me. Cool.
Nope. Nope.
Can't say that I have. So yeah, did anybody else have questions about Zerloid's prospective buyer?
Hey Ben,
Mhm.
can you roll a no check for me with Cherry, because I feel like Cherry might actually have heard of this person given her line of work.
Which person?
The person that, like, does this strike any recognition for Cherry?
Thinking of a robo person
Hmm.
with auto-tuned voice.
Yeah, I don't think Cherry would have enough information to go on here, to be able to recognize anybody. I will remind you that everyone here is fairly new to this side of the sector.
Oh, you mean that person hasn't gotten around to the other sector yet? Got it. Good to know.
No one here was a participant in the space or in the New Horizons campaign.
I'm just
Oh yeah, I
saying
know
that
that for sure.
you guys are on Urala. All of you are pretty new to this side
Yeah.
of things, so
Mhm.
So
if
only
you're
our outside knowledge.
Your wife is just trying to metagame a freebie, Ben. You know that.
yeah,
Metagame a freebie. It's a VI. She comes from a planet run by AI.
No,
I
he said
feel like
or. He said
oh yeah,
or a VI. He didn't say it was.
Mhm.
I am just saying, I
I'm
think
also
it's viable that she might have heard of a possible VI who deals in things like this. So I'm not trying to
Maybe.
metagame. It's fine.
Maybe.
If you guys
I
want to
mean,
accuse me of that,
Oh, okay.
I know
I
my
wasn't
name is
wrestling.
clear.
Hey, now
Robin's the
there's
only one. He's the only one who said anything about metagaming or freebie. So
It's
and
you guys
really
right back.
okay. I am
It's wheedling the little freebie out of the genie. Come on.
don't treat metagaming as a bad word in itself. It depends on how
It's
you
not.
use
It's
it.
not.
Yeah.
It's just wheedling the freebie out of the genie. That's all it is.
oh my
Don't
goodness.
make us tap the and a half long video essay.
And I do think
My
it's
goodness.
actually a valid kind of point that it is something that Cherry takes an interest in. So she might have,
That is true.
once we'd come here, looked like that would be one of the first things, maybe one of the first things, among the first things that she looks up on, local news. Are there any VI celebrities? Oh, no, but there's just scary arms dealer.
The
Yeah, and I
ugliest robot you've ever known just got arrested.
I will say I may have been interpreting the question a little bit more specifically than it was intended. If she's just trying to be like, okay, possible VI that is interested in buying pretext stuff.
Would a connect
have I heard of anybody like that?
would a
Yeah,
connect
that-
roll work better?
Yeah, actually, I think a connect roll would work better for something like that.
Sure. You can do a connect roll if that's going to be more accurate for what the scene needs. That's fine.
Oh no, not from Eva. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, from Cheery.
Yeah.
She was asking me to make the roll regardless. so,
Oh! I
that's why she said
misinterpreted that.
it that way. Yeah.
And I do hope that I argued for a better skill for you there, Danielle. I don't remember if Cherry has any no or not.
Actually, you definitely did. She has a -1 to know. She has a +1
Good.
connect.
Good.
All right. Let's see. Do 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 do. Okay, not with strength.
Connect with strength.
All right, you got a 14.
Nice.
Too strong.
Brain strong. Thanks, Ethan.
All right, so Cherry, in trying to think of trying to connect the dots with a potential VI, I'll say that she has heard rumors of an arms dealer that is very secretive on Tabuk, who has been eluding, well, I guess has been elusive in general, and doesn't like to let people see them. It's rumored that the arms dealer may be a VI, and that's why it caught her attention.
But that she'd know that the robot wanted to smooch Cade.
Oh my. Cherry, thinking about that, would
look very worried for a moment. She's trying to decide whether or not to divulge that. Um,
Well, maybe it's just one of them auto-tune enthusiasts. Like some rapper might want to buy themselves AI.
I don't know. Whoever
Yes,
it
that
was,
is a
they,
good way to stay sneaky. Get you a voice modulator.
yeah, whoever it was, they had a heavy guard presence.
And they looked like guards and not bandits.
Yeah, they didn't look anything like those schmucks that we ran off on the roadblock.
Okay. So, Zeke, then I think it's time to do your thing. We kind of know the lay of the area, and we'll figure it out. Um, we're gonna off-road back to the city, and um, we'll enter the city through one of the roads that's not, the main thoroughfares. Um, I guess we should take the ATV back so that you can turn it in, Sarah? Miss Lloyd?
Yeah, that's better than nothing.
Okay. And
Yes.
then we'll go to our ship. Oh, we should talk about that. Miss Lloyd, do you want to hire us to take you to Lohe-Nuda?
No, I figured I'd just fire up my rocket boots and fly there myself.
You have rocket boots?
Deserved that.
She rolls her eyes.
You won't make it. It's a
Yes,
lot.
I would like to hire your ship.
Oh,
I guess to
okay.
be fair, there ain't exactly a lot of folks in the sticks out here you can hire right now.
Perfect
Yes,
reference,
and
Robert.
given those circumstances, Bo, I think I will make the only choice available to me.
Well,
I think you still get to punch another one of your punch card things.
Oh, I certainly intend to.
of course. Of course. Okay.
TC3 pipes up. I have it here. Holds up the little card. Yeah, that's,
Because of course you put it in Gary.
mhm.
I can't just do that to folks, you robot.
My apologies. He puts it back.
Sneaking up all silent like.
So Zeke's gonna just close his eyes and see what the future holds.
Okay, so he's going through all that. Let's see. Most relevant minute in the next week.
I can see how this could actually probably get worse as it gets higher in level. It occurs to me now. Because
Yeah.
when this is like a year out, we could get some totally irrelevant information from Oracle.
Yeah, it gets pretty complex.
It's possible. I will say, obviously that depends somewhat on the interpretation there. I take it to be, when it's talking about relevance, it's, relevance considering the question and the intention of the oracle themselves. So yeah, I think it's pretty likely to be relevant. It's pretty much always likely to be relevant. You might in fact reveal something that you hadn't ever considered.
That's true.
So okay.
That gift is just making me laugh. Sorry.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, most relevant minute here. Hmm. Okay. I think the scene that Zeke sees in his mind will unfold about like so. Um, the crew is all aboard the ATV. Zeke he feels his stomach grumble loudly as he's devouring some fast food that he was able to pick up, and sees Bo also laying into some serious burger, as everyone else is also eating, and you're driving through the city of Arsinoe, and there is a bit of a smell to the inside of the RV as well. Nothing overpowering, but just gives the impression of considerable time
That stank.
too occupied. And let's see. So the vision continues as they're driving through the refugee encampment outside the city, approaching their little ship landing pad that the ship would have been docked at. And as they pull, as they turn and see down a bit of road through a crowd of people that's slowly dispersing to let them pass. They see parked outside the ship a couple of unmarked SUVs that are all tinted out and are more or less between the road and the on ramp, or where the on ramp would let down for the ship. And you hear Sarah Lloyd say something like, "Oh, those look familiar."
Hmm.
And as the
Did I just cut out for a second? I heard him say something like, and then silence.
oh yeah, you must have cut out. She
Okay,
said that.
thanks.
She said, "Oh, those look familiar."
And then the ATV explodes.
No, and actually, I'm realizing I misspoke because you guys would have part of the point of going there was to return the ATV.
Yeah.
So you'd be driving in some slightly. The vision blurs and warps a little bit, and they're riding in in some different rental vehicle.
Or public transport.
You guys had had a rental car before, so I was still thinking rental vehicle, but then yeah, as you pull up, think about the span of a minute. Yeah, I think this still works. You pull up, and a few men step out of these the SUVs with weapons not raised but in hand, just pointed at the ground. But one of them approaches the rental vehicle as you pull up with one hand out. And the vision fades.
Does Zeke have enough recollection of what this guy looked like to describe him to Sarah Lloyd?
Yeah, I think you could describe the guy vaguely.
So yeah, he's probably gonna just read that back to the group. Something like, well, in my vision, we stopped for cheeseburgers, and
I like this
then
vision.
yep.
I'm sorry, that's the most important thing that happened.
Well, if you let me finish, then we were stopped by a blockade.
Oh no.
Oh,
Again?
okay, yeah, that is pretty important.
I mean, the
Let's just stay with the
cheeseburgers must have been
cheeseburgers.
important. I mean, it definitely started with the cheeseburger.
I will note, just out of character, accompanying the cheeseburger was a since I don't know if I maybe said this clearly enough, with a sense of intense hunger that he was satisfying.
That's very important.
I
Yep.
did actually wonder if you were trying to convey that we may have been in a situation where we hadn't been able to eat for a while. So,
So I'm wondering if, based on the turn of events that Oracle has just shared with us, we may want to consider a TP to
I
the ship
was-
instead of driving to the ship, since we will likely be within 10 kilometers
Yeah.
of the ship
I was thinking the
once
exact
we
same
stop for
thing.
cheeseburgers.
I think that means we don't stop for cheeseburgers.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, we're stopping for cheeseburgers.
No.
I think it's
What
very
if
important that we stop
instead,
for
hear me
cheeseburgers.
out, hear me out. What if instead, when we get to Lohain Uda, I take you guys to like the best burger place you've ever been to?
We can't deny fate.
We
My
have
vision
to.
definitely started at cheeseburgers.
No,
And we still
No, but
got to
that's
provision the
exactly what we're
ship.
trying to do. We're actually trying to deny that fate. We're trying to avoid what you saw.
Sarah, I
Yes,
think we
getting
have to
cheeseburgers
ditch your
led
vehicle.
inevitably. Get the fuck in.
Sarah, I think we have to ditch the vehicle and teleport into the ship as soon as we're within. How far can you teleport? See,
Further than you can see.
I can see
Nice.
really far with telescope.
Now hold on. This vision that he had that he says means we can't. That doesn't have to mean that we can't return the vehicle. I mean,
I think
I
it
think that
does
happened until we
because
got to the ship, right?
no, because
We
we
can
don't want
also stop for
anybody in the
cheeseburger.
town to know that we're actually in the ship until we're taking off.
Okay, hey, I have an idea, Captain.
Mhm.
My captain, if you wouldn't mind. I kind of like have met a couple people since we've been here. And I think if I asked like really nicely, one of them could like do us a solid and like get somebody to explain to the rental company that it has to be picked up somewhere or go pick it up and return it, or we could extend our rental by like a day and then someone else could return it after our ship leaves. You know,
To be
just like
clear,
I'm just thinking like maybe we could, get some help with like a trusted individual that would like do us a solid.
in my vision, it seems we had no problem returning the vehicle or stopping for cheeseburgers. It
Yes,
was making it back to the ship that was the struggle.
I
See,
understand
those are all
that,
perfectly
but
legitimate activities.
going into town at all and being seen by this person who seems to have contacts will let them know to be prepared. Whereas if we leave the vehicle and teleport so that Sherry can get someone to pick it up, but we're not seen, and then we teleport straight to the ship and just fly off, we catch them with their pants down. Like that Jennifer Moons novel, Two
Oh,
Moons Make
no, honey.
Moons.
No, nope. We're not
I
gonna.
think I missed that.
I don't
chapter.
need to hear. I don't need to hear about your pants down novels. I need to be able to respect you in this moment as the captain making this decision and not hear about those novels.
It's a good lesson, though, that you don't let the person who's waiting for you know that you've already arrived.
Okay. So anyway, so we want to get back on the ship, right? So, um, what would you like to do?
I'm okay with you setting up a pickup so that the ATV gets returned and Sarah gets as much the deposit back as possible. But I think we should limit how much we're in town, how much we're seeing, and just teleport straight to the ship. Can you get somebody to authorize our takeoff without anyone around the ship knowing?
I mean, I could pull some strings. There was this one guy. I think he could be helpful, but I mean,
I would
well,
prefer that. I would prefer to leave without being shot than I would getting the vehicle back. I'm sorry, Miss Lloyd.
Sarah, I just want to put this out there that like if this is really gonna like irk your squeaky clean image of like a good credit score or something, I can have someone return it.
If we can do both, then that's yes, absolutely.
I do like to promise to do anything I can do. Maybe that's a
that-
character flaw now that I think about it. I should probably not do that. But
yeah, returning the
I
ship
do like making things happen.
is definitely important. It's going to be expensive still, but it's much better than it being a total loss.
And it's better than us being a total loss.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm never a total loss.
Well, I still think the vision showed that we returned the vehicle with no problem. And if we teleported from wherever the rental place or the burger place, we'd still be on the ship without anyone else knowing.
Well, we
Hey,
don't know how long
Capitan.
they would have been waiting there anyway. They could have been going there while we returned the vehicle, while we got the burgers, or while we were seen entering
Yeah,
town. We just don't know.
listen, McMuscles, they know what our
Apparently wasn't
car looks
important.
like. It's kind of super recognizable at this point with all the pot
McMuscles.
shots they took. So why don't we just have someone else return the vehicle? And maybe I could even have them rent another vehicle we could use that's not tied to these beautiful faces. And Bo.
I guess, but why not? Why don't we just have Zeke do another vision with
Honey, he's
without
not like
driving
a
it?
magic 8-ball. Like, we can't just like keep shaking him until we get the answer we want.
You can if you let me have a nap first.
She gives him a sidelong look like she's considering it.
Well,
You can have a nap in a second.
we do
Yeah,
have
but
to.
The man
It is
says
a
he just
couple.
needs a nap.
It is a couple days back, so if you just need to rest a little bit, then how does it work? Like, if we say we're gonna do it differently, do you get like a different look?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? This is what you do, Zeke. How do you not know?
He's figuring it out. Like,
Sorry.
I don't
I'm
normally
sorry.
try it like that. Usually I just roll with it.
Yeah, I'm stressed. I didn't mean to snap at you, Zeke.
They've been working
I
real hard on
think
them finger guns.
he does really like experimenting though, right? And like figuring stuff out. So maybe if we let him have a nap, this could be like a fun science experiment for him.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I thought he liked doing. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, Zeke. Didn't mean to like talk for you and stuff. So like you do generally like me to talk for you, but like anyway. You get what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying, right?
you're not wrong.
I did a science experiment where I napped for 47 hours one time.
Did you
That's
see
called a
anything in the future?
hangover, Bo. That's not called a science
I was gonna say, of course, I was about 12 deep, and after that
Oh,
party, and
no.
that probably did help a lot.
Oh my stars. Anyway, we can look again, but I think we should just try and be as careful as possible because I don't think any of us want to have to deal with those unfortunately upset people again.
I think we have very valuable cargo. I'm sorry,
Aw,
TC3, to
thank
call you
you.
not you.
Oh,
But you are
okay.
valuable
Yeah.
too. But I mean,
Thank you. Yeah.
but if somebody else wants TC3 that badly, we need to make sure we protect him. And so we shouldn't get hung up on how much an ATV costs if we're talking about a digital life form's freedom.
Is there any way that we could make like a fake glowy blue rock, like just in case?
I might be able to work something together now that I've got more time.
Yeah.
So I guess just to be clear, there were no holes in us in my vision where we had already returned the vehicle and stopped for cheeseburgers.
I think so.
All right. Fine, we can stop for cheeseburgers. Good night. But like, can it be?
I appreciate this man his fight for the cheeseburgers.
Well, I mean, and we also returned the ATV.
No, that's not decided because it might be that going into town let them set up. We'll wait
What
until
if I
you
ask-
rested.
Return the cheeseburgers.
What if I ask my friend really nicely to get us cheeseburgers?
Let's wait until Zeke has
I'll
his nap.
consider it.
We need more information. I need more information.
Okay. Should I like reach out to my friend just in case, or like? You know what? I'm just gonna like
Not yet.
soften the landing. I'm
don't-
just gonna soften the landing. I'll just
No, I
start
don't
like
think we
chatting him
should
up, you
do
know?
any
Just-
outgoing communications where we are. Cherry,
that's-
have you
she
been?
was like, she had already been.
Oh no, Cherry. That's like a
You
signal
say
beacon for
that
anyone that's looking
before.
for us.
I didn't know. I mean, like, I know, like,
Okay.
the basics of that, but, like, nobody said anything.
You're too busy texting those simps who want to buy our bathwater or whatever.
Okay.
Listen, if somebody wants to make me rich for doing nothing, who am I to deny them?
Okay.
Hijacking that old sugar
Sarah
daddy
Lloyd
account.
emphatically agrees with Cherry.
She's gonna fist bump Sarah Lloyd about that. Thank you.
Mhm.
No, everyone in the ATV. Zeke, you can have your nap. I'm doing a final check around. Everyone make sure your gear is set and ready. And we need to put some distance. Before Eva goes off
I'll
the deep
stop
end here, Ben.
texting.
Is Eva right about this in that kind of like wireless communications out in the boonies, out in the wilderness like we are, is potentially a source for somebody to find us?
Ben taking notes. Yes.
I may have opened that door. Yes, I realize that.
No, yeah, I mean, that was certainly be a valid concern of Eva's.
I think because like that is exactly something that I would be doing if I were playing a character that had the panspectral optics. Be like, oh, there's communications coming from that spot in the woods. Let's find out what that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eva has gotten thrown into her manic panic fix it mode, and she is going to make sure that everything that she did with the
Listen.
ATV has settled and is ready to go.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't have any signal in this stupid hole of a place, and
That
none of
does
my
make me
messages
feel-
have gone out.
That does make me feel better.
Well, good. It's a dumb rule, and no one told me about it.
I'm sorry, Cherry.
You're fine. I should have thought of it. I'm just mad I didn't.
It's not like I've ever been out in the wilderness either, so
All right. So, what do you want me to do now? Anything that's gonna keep my little thumbs busy from messaging on my compad, or do you just want me to sit still and look pretty?
no, try and make it so that your compad will not broadcast any signals until you're ready to. So no automatic communications. Set everyone else up too.
She pulls it down and puts it in flight mode,
Yep,
and then
yep.
looks back at her, and she's like, "Okay, done. Was that it?"
What? No, it can't be that easy.
She's gonna just stare at Eva for a second.
Is it that easy? What did you do?
Listen, the Genius Bar is closed right now, but I can give you a tutorial later. Is
No,
there
you-
anything else for me
If
to
it's
do?
that, you have to tell me. I have to know. It's gonna bother me, Cherry.
It's a button. It's a literal button. That's it.
A button? What? The power button?
No.
She's gonna look at Sarah Lloyd. Is there anything I can do to assist you now that you have lost your Carrie?
He was gonna go check the ATV. Do her final checks.
So Cherry's just asking Sarah if she has anything that she needs help with at all.
Yeah, McMuscles. What you need?
She gives Cherry a slightly perturbed look. I should remind you that I am, in some senses, your employer, so I'm hoping that nickname doesn't stick.
Oh, honey, if you think I'm the first one to say that, you are so off the reservation. I did call you Buttercup earlier. That was a little unprofessional. My bad. Miss Guns, what would you like me to do? And can I also reiterate, I am offering to help when I have not had sugar in over 48 hours. What do you need help with?
She, during that spiel, she crossed her arms and seems to be working on unclenching her jaw. With a little toss of her head to send the braid back over her shoulder, she says, I don't know, help me clean my guns or something.
Carrie just stares at her for a long pause. She's like, that's it. That's literally it. You can't do that any other time.
What? I don't know why you're so insistent on helping me with something right now.
Because I don't want to give Cherry the grandma. Sorry. My reputation is not one that I am here to give grandma tutorials for how to use a basic compad. I am here to help with other things. And if that's cleaning your guns, sure, whatever. Just give me the dumb thing. Take whatever it is out first that makes it fire and tell me what to do.
Okay. Yeah, she. Right, so yeah, she walks over to her her pack. She's got her shotgun slid into a kind of a holster of sorts that's on the side of the pack for it. Pulls her semi-automatic pistol out of the holster on her hip and I guess ejects the magazine and the one in the chamber and then hands it off to Cherry. We can start with that one. And she looks over to TC3. Would you mind using Carrie's reconfiguration to give us a handy workspace? I don't know if that's a little undignified for you, but would be helpful. TC3 looks between the two of them. That would not bother me in this case. I realize I am borrowing your bot's form. I'll try not to inconvenience you too much. And proceeds to transformers his way into a workbench. And compartment opens with some gun cleaning supplies.
Cherry's flabber has been gasted. She does not know how to balance these two situations.
Yeah, and complicating matters is as she's contemplating sitting down on a stool here in front of the now workstation. Carrie/TC3's face is basically sitting on top of the one end of the workstation and turns slightly to look at her. Do you require instruction?
Yeah. That would be so helpful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I appreciate that. Sure.
Here's the
Sarah,
model that
Sarah Lloyd can probably tell that Cherry has shifted gears from being incredibly sassy and cranky and overly confident to feeling very uncomfortable.
So yeah, she Sarah slides a stool over, basically grabs Cherry by the shoulders and pushes her down into the stool. Gives her a little clap on the back and says, "All right, well, get to work. I'm gonna go get us on the road."
Wait, was there driving as an unit? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Bye.
But yeah, Sarah's gonna go check that everyone else is ready to go and that Eva's finished up with the repairs she was doing and get this show on the road.
Yep, Eva's just making sure that the ready set glue that she set is all set, and the 5-minute glue that takes 2 hours to actually dry and set and seal and harden. Yeah, she's just making sure that all the work that she's done does not need any corrections or adjustments. She's also calming her nerves with basically busy work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, she'll come back when Sarah checks to make sure everything's good, and yeah. Does anybody have a nav comp?
I think that was one of the things we arranged for Zeke to have.
Right. I don't know if it
With that
was
in
if it's been brought up in character or not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. If we already had and I just forgot it, then just slap me down.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I defer
Man.
to y'all on if we had that conversation.
It's
But Zeke
already
does have it.
11:30. What is this?
Oh, it is. It is already 11:30.
Goodness.
Wow.
I flew tonight.
We did start a bit late.
Yeah, that's true. We did. Yeah, and there were lots of little conversations and scenes, but okay. Yeah, so I'd say Ava's asking about a nav comp. That would be Zeke's moment to speak up.
Yeah, he's got one. This thing right here.
Oh, yes. You're so prepared.
You know me. Finger guns, but no bullets.
Unloaded finger guns.
Right. I love imagining
Safety
that, like,
on.
I love imagining that, like, in character, the moment that he sensed the need was right when Eva asked, like, "Hey, does anybody have a nav comp?" And he's looking around, like, realizing, oh, nobody has one. He's like, "Oh, yeah, that actually would be really good." And then just whips it out of his bag, like, "Yep, I totally had this the whole time."
Thank you, Zeke. Eva takes it up, sits shotgun, and starts to say, "Okay, so we're..." And she looks over. Oh, why are you driving?
Shay wanted to help clean my guns, so.
Oh, she just wanted something to do.
Yeah, she's busy with TC3, so.
Okay. It's fine if you want to drive for a bit.
She looks at Evo, slight confusion. Yeah, I'd hope so. I rented the thing.
Well, I just mean that Cherry's a better driver than you, but I don't think where we're going is going to be really treacherous, so it's going to be okay. There's that -1 charisma coming in.
She's like, hey, fair enough. I mean, hey, if we get in a bind, sure, we can get her back over here. She did fine in the roadblock.
She was really good.
Would Cherry have heard Eva say that or no?
Probably. Eva's not very quiet.
That's true, yeah. Sound carries well enough through the RV.
You just hear like from the back of the RV, like, thank you.
You're welcome.
They're gonna get nicknames for each other at some point. I know it, and it's not gonna be fruit salad.
Alrighty, well,
yeah,
I think that's a good stopping point for us. Setting off on the trek. Say that as Eva is trying to map a route on the nav comp, I think that would warrant. See, I don't know if necessarily a skill check would be needed.
I'd be happy
Hey,
to make a
Ben.
skill check for a faster route.
Oh, what's up, babe? Yeah.
How many guns does Sarah Lloyd have for her to clean? Because, like, is this like a one and done job, or is she gonna be bored soon?
I mean, she's got a couple of guns. She's got the semi-auto pistol. She's got a second one of those. She's got
After
the
a while,
shotgun.
someone might overhear Cherry grumbling about cleaning guns.
Cubo going, hey, I've got 2 void carbines.
I wouldn't mind cleaning your guns.
Yeah, she was already cleaning guns. Bo was gonna go over there and not have her clean, but be like going over the finer points of gun maintenance.
Then she'd be grumbling about things being educational.
This
And
is
she'd be
his
listening.
the pulling Eva.
Oh my gosh, why do all of my friends want to teach me things?
Oh, this is important. You got yourself one of them laser
Yeah, that's true.
now.
Hey, what did you call this part again?
That would be the trigger.
No, no, the part above the trigger.
Oh, the trigger guard.
Yeah, that. So, like, safety on, does that mean like you shoot, or does it mean like it doesn't? Like, is it safe for me or safe for the other person?
Yeah, so when you got the safety on, you ain't gonna be able to shoot.
Oh, that doesn't
Might
sound
just-
very safe for me.
Leave it that way for now.
PC3 interjects. Actually, Cherry, I believe that would be particularly safe for you.
Robot, what's up?
Cherry getting sassed all over.
I'll say, I think
He deserves it.
Bo would probably be particularly appreciative of the design of the little workbench area, noticing that there's a part of the table that is like it's basically like a grid that's subdivided, and it has labeled and pictured little compartments for every separate part of the gun, the specific gun that Cherry's currently cleaning. and the little spots for the various fasteners and things like that as well. So it looks like there's basically like a fish tackle box kind of divided area, but very specifically for that exact gun.
Well, this is a fancy workbench. I'd gotten used to just doing her field cleaning my gun in my lap or laid on top of my poncho.
I mean, why do that when you can clean it in someone else's lap, right? Sorry, TC3. That was a joke.
Oh, no apology
Well, most
necessary. My
volunteer
lap
for you
is
to do.
perfect for gun cleaning.
Carrie staring at the gun and not making eye contact with TC3 and of biting her lip to keep her mouth shut. She is not going to say anything more.
That's typically what we call R-rated activity.
Oh my stars, Bo. Educate me on guns. Do not educate TC3 on your twisted mind, please. Stay on task.
Worry not, Bo. I have no untoward intentions towards Cherry.
Oh,
Well,
Who's
it's all
refraining from
hard. You know what? I'm gonna see if they need me in the front. I'm just gonna, and she's gonna like try and scoot out her stool really fast, but it's gonna get jammed on something, and she's gonna hit her knee and on TC3.
Very well, Cherry. My apologies.
She's just like, I'm good. It's fine. Yeah, okay, bye.
Bo, would you like to sit and clean guns in my lap?
Well, when you put it like that, I think I'm never going to touch you ever again. You know, once you make that mistake, it all just sounds like innuendo. It's probably for the best she headed up to the front of the van.
Well, seems I may need to study Double Entendre, but more thoroughly. I had intended to avoid making any such jokes. Suppose I'll have to wait. No, never mind.
Ominous.
No, it's all right. I didn't have anything to say. DC3 does look around and then looks back to Bo. Do you suppose I need to remain like this, or for Miss Lloyd to come and continue the work, or?
Carrie, you'll hear in the distance Cherry saying, I will get them for you. I will get them for you, and then you can clean guns in the robot's lap, okay?
So, she wasn't too far along anyway. Then Bo put the gun back together.
Yeah. You can just make out enough of what Sarah Lloyd is saying back to Cherry to pick out the amusement in her tone. She's teasing Cherry a bit about being up to the task. But yeah, she'll switch jobs with Cherry, let her do the driving and go take care of the guns herself.
Eva seems.
Do you mean Sarah will let Cherry do the driving?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant.
When Cherry takes the driver's seat, Eva like a little bit of stress eases off her shoulders, and she just kind of looks over at Cherry. Hi. Okay, so we're going, and then she'll just start giving directions.
Cherry says, okay, and follows directions.
So yeah, that
She
does.
looks-
Better towards that burger stand.
She looks like she is still blushing.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think that this is going to. Let me quickly. I know it's already 11:40. Let me try to quickly get a survive. Yeah, intelligence is fine. It's survive intelligence check from Eva.
Okay.
With a modifier of 1.
All right.
Okay.
Let me ask real quick. Ethan, does Bo have survive also? Like, I mean, in skills and or background.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think I've gotten it beyond 0.
Okay. I still think it makes some sense because it's a brand new skill for Eva, basically picked up when we were on Demnoth or after the event on Demnoth. Of course, she's done all the reading of it, but I think narratively, she probably consults with Boa at least a couple times.
Makes sense.
Not looking for any bonuses from that, just, it's kind of, she's new at it and she thinks that he is this magical outdoors survivalist, even if he's not.
Yeah, he's leaned pretty hard into his gunplay, neglecting his woodsmanship craft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good. Well, yeah, let me make a note here. Yeah, it is. I'll just say generally, yeah, the route is pretty involved. The roads are where they are for a very good reason up here in the mountains, and trying to avoid them is quite the task, even with the off-road vehicle that you've got. So finding a route that is navigable by the vehicle is, means taking a very roundabout path. So it is going to be, looks like potentially a 3 or 4 day trip, accounting for time to actually rest and also scrounge up some food in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are not all equipped and packed for that many days worth of food.
Yeah, no, there's a marked lack of rations in the gear section here, or in Eva's gear section.
Yeah, I figure a couple people might have some rations. I have not specifically checked, but I was fairly certain just from the quick look I'd done that there were not enough rations to go around. I think Ms. Lloyd had packed a few for everybody for a day, but was not planning on a multi-day excursion. All right, so we'll hash all that trip out when we get back next session. For now, everybody have your 1 XP. I added Cherry's level up notes that I reverse engineered. So we've got her covered up to level 5 now. And then we've got, got Robert doing a recap. We'll go ahead and jump in the faves. Dex would be first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me flip back to the current page. Wasn't sure if we'd get to a point where I've got a planned scene for Eva with Pete. And so I flipped myself back to my notes there. But my fave was Bo checking around on the crew, and specifically that very kind of almost brotherly assistance with Eva, the interaction with Eva. And as an added bonus, got grease on your everything is a fave. I think brotherly
Nice, man.
interaction
That's
with
cool.
Eva fits better than advice for.
Okay.
It really felt like less like just advice and more just comforting.
Yeah, makes sense. I missed the Grease quote.
What? You missed that?
Who said that when?
That was Bo after Eva asked why the gum that he gave her tasted like grease.
Can we all also appreciate for a moment the fact that she knew exactly what that taste was?
Proof that this has been a recurring problem.
And it hasn't crossed her mind yet.
Everything. Man, people keep handing me stuff that tastes like grease.
Man.
I don't know how that happens.
Craziest thing, y'all.
Yeah. All right. Let me real quick. I should have done this first. Let me jump to Robert real quick. Get your fave.
Oh, I think my fave has to go to Cherry burning Miss Lloyd with "Okay, McMuscles." I about lost it.
Yeah, that. Yeah, because I know somebody. I think maybe Bo had called her that at some point, but yeah, I was like, oh, when it came out in character, right to her face, I was like, okay, yeah, she's probably not going to appreciate that.
I loved that she got to be like, if you think I'm the first person to call you that, you're sorely mistaken.
Never listen to Bo's diary.
Yeah. Yeah, Sir Lloyd doesn't seem to have planned to do that so far. Oh, man.
She'll learn that she's been called a great variety of pejorative names.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, which reminds me, I've got I worked on getting another picture of her. I did like the one that Danielle posted. I think it was Danielle posted last session or maybe the session before in
Didn't
one of the
like a
chats.
Original ripped Punzel.
Yeah, it was just trying to find like the right flavor of it. I actually got like a pretty good one that's a little it's like low poly art, AI art, but it's got a little bit of goofiness to it, and I couldn't get it to put the right clothing on her exactly, so I was considering having Ethan do some Photoshop magic to it. But yeah, I need to take a look at that later. Let's see. Back to faves. We are to Ethan.
It's 3. We had the return of Aramon. Burgers being the most important thing to happen in the upcoming week. and the key to this whole plan. And then the flabbers being casted.
Yeah, that was a fun phrase.
I heard someone say that recently, and it has been one of my new favorite things to say. My flabbers have been gasted.
And so they were. Avery.
I think my favorite is Cherry sticking up for Zeke and saying, I think it was something to the effect of, he's not a magic 8-ball.
So yeah, he's not a magic 8-ball. You can't just keep shaking him till you get the answer you want.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty great. And then also the scene, short but sweet, between Zeke and Bo, finger guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope that there's more to that narratively as time goes on.
No, remember, no consequences.
I kind of like to see Zeke trying to like keep it up.
Oh man. Yeah. There's definitely room for that. Yeah, I would say I think let's see. I guess I was gonna put it as Zeke finger gunning for Bo.
LOL.
I loved that touch, like, but I also I think I enjoyed the TC3 workshop scene. Just Cherry being feeling so awkward, like already doing something she's not particularly accustomed to doing, cleaning out a gun, and doing it using the body of, that is currently inhabited by an AI that she's tried to be respectful to.
No.
Getting gun oil on its chassis. It's just like, what?
And his face being like right there and him just like talking to her. He's like, this is so awkward.
Oh man. That brings us to you, Danielle.
Oh man. Oh, so many good parts. I liked the group meeting. Actually, I felt like most of that happened in character, and it was really well done. I also really hi there, Noah. See what else. I did really enjoy the back and forth between Cherry and Sarah Lloyd and hi Noah. And then TC3 kind of juxtaposed against that was all really just a funny conversation. Yeah. I guess my favorite of this was the in character conversation all around. Oh, wait. Never mind. Scratch that. My third one I'm gonna put
is Zeke's character being more like fleshed out as like the cool guy. Feels like the
Gotcha.
Chad of the crew because he's on good terms with everybody.
True.
He is the cinnamon roll that we will all protect. Slash the Chad. I don't know how to explain that, but at the moment it made sense.
All right. Did I get the 3?
I don't know. I'm
Well,
not checking your work. Let me look.
All right. Fair enough. We good to go then.
Yeah, that's perfect. Good job.
Thanks. All righty. Well, it's
XP.
let's call it a wrap. Yep.
Oh wow. Robert just straight
You
to
got it.
XP now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just waiting for the session to be over and go to
Yeah.
bed.
You're good.
It's
I always,
late.
See more.
I always lead with the XP. You guys got 1. It's posted in character development, and we're done.
Good night, y'all.
Good night,
Later,
Robert.
Robert.
Good night. Rest well.
Oh, and I'll end the stream here.